Generation World 11 is a group of select players who are of an incredible talent, even amongst the prodigies of the soccer world. As Ego would put it, the diamonds within the diamonds in the rough. Now currently we know of 3 confirmed New Gen 11s. We have Sae Itoshi currently playing for Spain's Real as a midfielder, we have Michael Kaiser currently playing for Germany's Bayern Munchen as a striker or forward, and we have Don Lorenzo currently playing for Italy's Ubers as a defender. Now despite the name World 11, we only have 3 confirmed players. Assuming the other 8 have not been selected yet, we now know of one other character who can be reasonably argued to be on the same level as the New Generation 11, that player being Rin Itoshi. With the latest events of chapter 285, it's been made clear that Rin has awakened and evolved to a level beyond comprehension, which has led many people to arguing about whether or not Rin Itoshi, as well as many other characters, are worthy of being New Generation 11. But who exactly deserves the title of New Generation 11? And where do they stand against the current next generation superstars? So in today's video, I'll be going over characters that I have heard people argue saying that they are as good or better than New Generation 11s, and I'll be giving my thoughts on the matter. Before I begin though, I want to say thank you to Raven Geeks who gave me this video idea and decided to be nice enough to let me make this video instead of him making it. So go over and sub to his channel, the link is down below, because he makes some fire content. And like in all of my videos, spoilers for the latest events of the Blue Lock manga, and if you aren't caught up to chapter 285, I would suggest you click off this video now because you will be spoiled. Now when looking at the characters for this video, I'm going to be grading them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 meaning, no way they could be a New Generation 11, and 10 being, why are they not one already? And the first character we'll be looking at in this video is Rin Itoshi, currently playing as a center forward for PXG. Looking at Rin's abilities, he has overall high stats across the board. He boasts a solid physique, being able to overpower Isagi, amazing speed, being able to catch up with Corona, and impressive dribbling, allowing him to break through Bayern Munchen on his own. But despite having above average overall stats, that isn't to say that he doesn't have some specialties. His vision is the highest and most skilled among non-Metavision users, and is even higher than some Metavision users like Aiku and Nico. His shooting specifically with curved or trivela shots is the best in Blue Lock, with even 99% copy still being a drastic decrease. And not to mention his flow state, allowing for his more meticulous style to flip on its head, allowing for Rin to throw the entire game into chaos. This change of style also shoots up his 1v1 abilities and skills such as his technique, dribbling, and shooting. Even when you decide to look at Rin from his lowest points, he is still one of the best U20 players in the entire series. But when we look at him in comparison to the New Generation 11s, does he stick out like a sore thumb? Is Rin Itoshi worthy of being called a New Gen 11? Well, based on everything, yeah, I would say so. Looking at the description of the New Generation off of the Blue Lock wiki, it says, the New Generation World 11 is a group of international youth players heralded as the next generation of football superstars. Selected and recognized by FIFA, the New Generation 11 are selected by their individual abilities and potential. So far, the 3 that have been revealed are all U20 category players. They all have outstanding standout abilities that separate them from their similarly aged peers. They usually have a skill that is not easily replicable, such as Sae's perfect kicking technique or Kaiser's lightning fast and accurate shot. Using this description, does it also seem fair to say that Rin is also in this category of players? Yeah, 100%. While I don't believe that Rin's unique weapon may be as flashy or easy to identify as Kaiser shooting, I do think that his flow state is the unique ability that lets him stand out. From what we've seen in the series, at least from the other confirmed flow states, Rin is the only one to have this unique destructive style to it. Sure, the term flow state and the accessibility of that state of mind applies to literally anyone in the series, but to have something as unique as the destroyer mode applicable to anyone, it seems pretty unlikely. When comparing Rin to those of a similar age, it's pretty clear to say that he stands out. I mean, there are about 30 Blue Lockers left in the project. Pull out a random 5, and I guarantee you that Rin will stand out as the best of them. Not to mention with the latest events of Isagi and Kaiser needing to team up to defeat Rin, it seems fair to assume that Kaiser alone wouldn't be able to stop him. In fact, we've even seen Rin beat Kaiser in a 1v1 before. So you could reasonably argue that Rin is better than Kaiser in this instance. But then it comes down to, is he better than Lorenzo and is he better than Sae? I mean, if you rank Kaiser above Sae or Lorenzo and Rin is above Kaiser, that would make him better than all of them. However, if you rank Kaiser at the bottom, you would have to speculate as to whether he is above the others or not. There is a lot of speculation that is required for that part, but in my opinion, I would say that Rin Itoshi is deserving of the New Generation 11 title, and he is now of that current level. As for a number, I would give him an 8.5. Meaning, if someone called him a New Generation 11, I wouldn't be so shocked. Following Rin Itoshi, we should talk about his #1 rival and the main character of the Blue Lock series, that being Yoichi Isagi. Before I get into that though, if you are enjoying this video so far, leave me a like and subscribe down below to see more awesome Blue Lock content just like this. And if you would like to join my Discord server, the New Egoist Geeks, the link to that is down below. When looking at Isagi to determine whether or not he deserves the New Generation 11 title, we should first start by looking at where Isagi shines as a player. Isagi shines the most as a player in group situations, where he can take advantage of other players players and their abilities to help him further his goals. This isn't done in a malicious or manipulative way, but more as a mutual beneficial teamwork that allows for both players to shine. Aside from that though, Isagi's greatest strengths are in his vision and his analytical abilities. Through the use of abilities like metavision, it allows for Isagi to appear to others like he is always where he needs to be at the exact perfect time. His shooting is also drastically better than it originally appeared in the series, thanks to the new awakening of the twin gun volley. This new shooting style considered to be on the same level as the Kaiser impact in terms of deadliness, so long as he's able to perfect the ability of course. However, when comparing the rest of his skills to his specialties, Isagi is fairly average. I mean, his physique, dribbling, speed, and passing are nothing to write home about. However, I would say that he is consistent in terms of those stats. Sure, he isn't really beating another character or better than another character in those specific regards, but that isn't to say that he isn't decent in those stats. As for the deciding question, is Yoichi Isagi worthy of the New Generation 11 title? Well, I would honestly say that no, he isn't. When it comes to being a New Generation 11, it comes down to incredible individual abilities that set you above the others in your generation. And when it comes to individual feats and abilities, Isagi really can't compare to others like Burū, Kaiser, or Rin. Sure, he's great on a team, but if you take away his allies, Isagi's worth is not as much as you say it is. And I know the arguments that people are going to make, but soccer is a team sport, it's 11v11. Sure, but when it comes down to a 1v1, if Isagi is up against an opponent who is decent overall, he is likely not beating them. And don't say, oh, 1v1s don't happen, because in BLUELOCK, they 100% do. Isagi versus Ryo, Kaiser versus Chris Prince, Noah versus Lavenho, Kunigami versus Agi, Rin versus Sae. There are 1v1s in the story because it's more dramatized and more entertaining to see these characters go at it in a 1v1 situation with no outside help, winning only on their own merits alone. And because of that individual factor, I would say that Isagi is not worthy of being crowned a New Generation 11. However, if I were to give him a number rating, it would probably be a 7, meaning he's missing one critical thing. If he gets that, I'd agree he's close to reaching that level. Following our main two dudes of the story, we have one that was introduced in the latest game of the NEL, that being Charles Chevalier. Now Charles, when he was first revealed in the story, was a character that many believed was the next New Generation 11. This mostly came from the visual comparison to the other New Generation 11s, having a unique flashy appearance with incredible technical skills. However, as we learn, Charles is not a New Generation 11 and is just an incredibly talented player. Charles not only possesses metavision, but also what we can assume is a pass or unique style of vision that allows for him to hit passes in ways that nobody could predict. Combined with his contrarian nature, it makes him very difficult to stop in relation to setting a pass. His dribbling and off-the-ball movements also deserve some recognition, seeing as he's able to easily weave between players with little difficulty despite being average in both speed and strength. With many people assuming that he was going to be the next New Generation 11, and with some people still believing that he is, does Charles Chevalier deserve the title of New Generation 11? Well, honestly, I would kind of say he does. Now, am I saying that he entirely deserves it? No. But he is definitely closer than Isagi is. While I could agree that Isagi is overall the better player, we need to take into account the genius attributes and individual qualities that Charles has that puts him above Isagi in this regard. I mean, at only 15 years old, he's doing some things that are incredibly insane, that even players like Hiyori can't do. And I understand that age isn't a factor in potential, but his feats are so impressive that many wanted to compare him to Sae when he was first revealed. Because of that, I would want to rate Charles at a 7.5, meaning, yeah, bro is definitely talented, but I don't know if he stands on the same level just yet. And the last character I want to cover in this video is none other than the God Sprinter himself, that being Julian Loki. Now, I have made a separate video on this topic before, yet a lot of people failed to understand the points I had made, so I'm just going to simplify them here. First off, the fact that Loki is a world-class and national player does not mean that he isn't worthy of the New Generation 11 title. For example, let's use Sae. Sae is a player of incredible talent given the title of New Generation 11. When he first went to Spain, his original plan was to go pro. However, he wasn't able to do that because of the age requirement, which needed him to be 18. And because he wasn't able to go pro, he decided to play for the subsidiary team for Real. When we first see Sae in the story, he returned to Japan only to renew his passport, where he would then go back to Spain to join the national team as he is now of the required age. Now let's assume that Sae did go pro. Would he lose his title? No, because the title of New Generation 11 is a title given to the next generation of football superstars. Key word, next generation. We are not in the next generation, seeing as players like Noah, Chris Prince, Snuffy, and Lavenho are still actively playing. Same with the other World 5 members like Adam Blake and Dada Silva. The current generation that Loki is playing in is not his generation. And if Sae went pro, he would be in the exact same boat. Because once players like Noah and Chris Prince retire, the new generation will take their place, with superstars like Kaiser and Lorenzo at the forefront of the world. The same same could be said for Loki. He is going to be a next generation superstar. Another statement that people say is that Loki is too popular to be a next generation star because he is already a current one. But that logic gets debunked by Sae. We know from the U20 game that the only reason tickets would sell is because of Sae Itoshi, and that if he pulled out of the game, nobody would come to watch it. Meaning Sae's name and popularity is so huge that he could sell out an entire stadium on his own. And that's just in Japan. Imagine the rest of the world. Also, when we cut to the second selection, Tokimitsu is the only player with knowledge on Loki, as Isagi didn't know who he was. Meaning Loki's popularity isn't as big as you'd assume, since even Isagi didn't know who he was. Now, if you want to make the argument the only reason that Sae could sell tickets is because he's from Japan, then couldn't it also be said that Isagi didn't know who Loki was because he is only popular in France? That would mean that they are relative in terms of popularity on the world stage. And the last claim I see people say is that because Loki is too good, he can't be a New Generation 11. Well, here's the thing that you need to understand. While the requirement for the title of New Generation has a lower limit, meaning you have to be of an adequate skill, there is no upper limit to the New Generation 11 abilities, as it is simply related to a time frame of skill. Does that make sense? The only way that a New Generation 11 can lose their title is when they age up into the current generation, or if they suddenly become bad or quit playing soccer. And who said that Loki had to be worse than the current New Generation 11s to be a New Generation 11? Why couldn't he be the best of them? That argument really makes no sense. Given everything that has been stated, would I say that Loki is worthy of being a New Generation 11? Yes, 100% I would. As for his number, I would give him a 10 out of 10, meaning, why is he not one already? But that was just my breakdown of the characters who I hear people considering to be worthy of the New Generation 11 title. You guys are free to disagree with me, however, given the evidence, I do believe that my statements make a lot of sense. Aside from that though, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and will continue to enjoy it in the future. And just a reminder to you guys that we are currently looking for some storyboarders, background artists, and animators to assist us on the BLUELOCK New Generation 11 fan movie. If you are interested, reach out to me through any of the socials listed in the description. And if you would like to help donate to the film in order to allow me to pay my team more for their hard work, and potentially get more fluid and intense scenes, you can do so by leaving a super chat on this video with the tagline of New Gen 11 movie. Donating will get your name placed in the credits of the film as a contributor to the project. And if you end up donating $25 or more and you are a part of the Discord server, you will get access to information before anyone else does and get a special role in the server. This special information refers to character designs, teaser footage, and even early access to the film. We appreciate all donations, but please do not feel obligated to donate. All we can ask for is your continued support on the project. Also, stay tuned because we will be dropping a teaser trailer very soon, so I hope you guys are excited for that. As for the question of the video, who else would you say is worthy of being a New Generation 11? Leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section. And like always, thank you all for watching, like and subscribe to see more awesome BLUELOCK content just like this.